thank you so much for coming to the show.
To be in these places at the time that. So yeah, I'm in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, what's up now? I told you the Jamaican accent was going to come out. I'd love to be able to name all the bands, and I can't. But I know I'm going to miss.
You've been called selfless, you've been called kind, loving, all kinds of stuff. We know you're passionate about.
Talk about your little 10-month-old son.
Yeah.
Talk about that, your pride and joy.
I love my son. His name is Jawari, and he was born on Christmas Day. He's one.
Welcome back, everybody. I am joined by Miss Andrea Walters Grant and her husband, Everton Grant. Welcome to PEP Talk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
You're fine.
Good.
You're even fine enough because your husband is beside you holding your hand.
Yes.
We love that. We love that. Okay, so let's get right into it. You are now an author of this wonderful cookbook that's called A Little Taste of Jamaica. Does that mean that you're from Jamaica?
Sure.
Where in Jamaica are you from?
See, I was born in St. Andrew, Guntown, St. Andrew. And I grew up there. I attended a local primary school. We call it convent school. Then I transferred about in grade 4 to Jonestown Primary School. Of course, it was different for me. But that's where I became successful in the then common entrance exam. And I got a transfer to Excelsior High School, my alma mater, and I studied food and nutrition there.
Okay.
And it's been, you know, the stepping stone for me because it made me see food in a different light. You're not just throwing, you know, some salt, some this, some sugar. I learned to measure things and I really appreciated what nutrition meant. And so big up to my alma mater, Excelsior High School. And from there, as I said, I'm from Gordon Town. I'm from a large family. 11 children, and I cooked my first meal at age 12.
Wow, wow.
And from then, it continued.
It continued. And Mr. Grant,
Yes.
I understand that she's not the only chef in the family. You're also from Jamaica, correct?
Yes, I'm from Jamaica.
And where in Jamaica are you from?
Well, I'm from St. Andrew. I was born at home, Jackson Road. So it's St. Andrew. I've gone to Russell Primary School. Then later on, I went to Norman Manley High School. Then I went to George's Extension and start working in the government from there.
Okay, so did you two know each other from in Jamaica?
No, we didn't. Actually, I was a secretary in corporate Jamaica, did professional secretary, you know, go to the meeting, do minutes, etc. So for many years, I was a secretary in corporate Jamaica. Then I migrated to USA and I just did not go back into the secretarial world. I became a nursing assistant. So I've got a nursing assistant license and I've worked there for so many years. Did everything from companionship to total care. Then some injuries came along during the job. You know, it's a hard job lifting and pulling patients, but I did enjoy it then. And so I became a medical assistant. And during that time, you know, I started writing before because what I would do is just while we lived in Pennsylvania, I started writing stories. And at that time, I wrote about a small, you know, a summary of these books, about 50 recipes.
Okay.
But then put it down, forget about it for another 2 or 3 years until about in 2008, I went to this job, had this job as a medical assistant. And you know, my co-workers, when I went to work with my food, what did you cook today? Oh my God, it smells so good. Can you tell me how you cook this? Curry chicken this? They just wanted to know what I cooked. And they kept on bothering me for recipes. And I told them about my book. And they said, yeah, but are you going to put pictures in it? And I said, no. And they said, you know, that would be very good. Because a lot of time when you see a recipe, if you see the picture, it would give you a better idea. So thanks to my former co-workers, they gave me the impetus to put, or the idea to put pictures in the book. And of course, my lovely husband here, he cooked most of the meal because all the pictures in this book, they're foods that are prepared on our table at home. We have guests, so much things, and that's it.
Okay, so I'm still curious as to when you two hook up. So, I mean, I know you hook up, but I want to know when you hook up. When did you get married?
Okay, we got married in 2003,
just
April
avoiding
2003,
April
and we
2003.
hooked up in 1998. We were working.
Okay.
He was a chef working in the
Got you.
nursing home, and I was a student.
Okay, so there, now we're talking. Okay, so you meet each other a long time.
Yes,
You
yes,
can
yes.
cook. You studied food and nutrition, and in food and nutrition, one of the things that they teach us about, because I did it too in high school, meal planning and preparation.
Sure, good.
And so, like your co-worker said, the presentation is everything.
Everything.
You can't do a cookbook without having pictures, because
Sure.
then people's imagination is stretched to the limit.
That's
So, who does most of the cooking in this relationship? Wow, trick question.
Let me answer you. You know, I'm this type of woman. I do things when I feel like. So if I feel like cooking, I will cook. I will bake. I'll do everything.
And when
So-
you don't feel like cooking, he cooks?
Sure.
Okay, so let's talk about this cookbook. All right? The journey about this cookbook. You said, I know you have your son who also told me that he took this picture. So I know
Yes, he
your
did.
family is heavily involved.
Sure.
Tell me about the whole process of bringing this to life. You've had this dream for a long time. Started cooking when you were 12, like most of us from the islands, and then you finally have
I
this
was
product.
6.
Talk about this whole process. Mr. Grant.
The whole process of this book is she don't come to her bed at night. Yes, we cook so much and for so many people, and as we cook, we take pictures. So this is coming back from way back when. Every meal I put on the table, take out the camera, take a picture.
All right.
And so as she goes on writing and writing, you know, there are times when, boy, I get so much annoyed and, oh, it's bedtime, it's past 1 o'clock, what's happening? You know, and she writes, and she put it away for, I think, a year. And, you know, during that time, we keep taking pictures of what we cook. And then she come back and, I'm going to finish this book. I said, long night again. But, you know, that really worked out after, you know, she determined. She's a very determined woman. Oh, yes. My wife, when she said, oh, I'm going to do. So she did. And, you know, it comes out, complete the book. It was surprising to me, too. At the end of the book, we were wondering what to do with the pictures, what pictures to put in it. And we went out and we got all the ingredients with the Jamaican flag as a background. We took many pictures, but I was outrun by my 11-year-old son. The picture that he took, that's a picture on the book.
Awesome.
And, you know, this is where we began the role of our book. Andrea was in school also. She was at, she's still at Montgomery College. When this book came out, we don't know what to do. I said, well, you go ahead. I'll hit the road. I've been at home because of an injury. I fell from a roof doing cable. So, you know, I said, all right, I'll take the book to the road. So I took the book to the road. And here we are today.
Here we are
Trying to
today.
make
Here
it-
we are today. And this book was published when you said this in March of this
March
year?
of 2011, yes.
Brand new thing on the block.
Sure.
How has it been going for you so far?
Well, so far it's been good. As I said, this book, A Little Taste of Jamaica, it's a creation of Jamaican recipes, and it's my gift in quotation, to my homeland Jamaica. Because, as it is, you know, the foods we grew up, the way they cook it, it has diverted away from that path. Everybody is cooking Jamaica. Chinese, everybody. And I have no qualms about it. I have no problem. But what I decided to do is to put this book together as a preservation of the Jamaican culture. So these recipes will help everyone. I mean, the motivation behind doing this book is I've met so many people, Jamaicans, they're from Jamaican heritage, but all they know is, you know, McDonald's and all those things, and nothing is wrong with McDonald's, but they do not know how to cook Jamaican food. So this will help them. Maybe you're a Jamaican and you can cook, but what about your child who is born here? He doesn't know how to cook Jamaican food. So here's this book. I give you a little taste of Jamaica. It's your reference. It's your piece of culture, your piece of heritage. So go along and enjoy it. And it has ackee, saltfish, susumba, rundown, mackerel. You're not going to get those things at restaurants. So guess what? Go get your copy of the book. The cake is in it, everything. I give you a little taste of Jamaica.
Hey, that was a big taste of Jamaica, and that made me very hungry. And all of our studio audience people are there salivating. So, you know, you gave away a lot of Jamaica. But listen, let me ask you a question. We're now in the States. You live in the States.
Yes,
we know how it goes when we go supermarket shopping. You can't really find the Jamaican ingredients that you used to find. But these recipes, I'm looking through them, and all the recipes that you have seem to be the recipes that we used in Jamaica. Sure. What is your advice for people who are living in the States, where you're selling this book also, and they're not able to find those authentic Jamaican seasoning to make the dishes that you have?
Okay, locally, I'm not promoting any company, but the local supermarkets like Shoppers and Giant, they all have a Latino or international aisle. And I, for one, can talk about Shoppers and Giant.
Well, let's not talk about Shoppers and Giant. Let's just say they're in local supermarkets.
They're in local supermarkets and also the Caribbean stores.
Okay, okay.
In every little corner, you can find a Latino market, you know, supermarket or Caribbean supermarket. So
okay,
they're available.
And let me ask you, what is your favorite recipe to cook?
So much.
Oh, wow.
Well, the curried chicken and the goat, oxtail.
Oxtail.
Yes.
And what about you?
You know, I really love stewed chicken. You can cook it in 20 minutes. It's so good. You season it, you put it in the pot, you turn on the stove, you come back, it's perfect.
And I know that you have children. Are you also teaching your children how to cook? Are they also in the kitchen cooking with you guys?
Well, my daughter can cook and she'll bake. My son, I have a older son, Craig. He doesn't really do it.
He doesn't really do it.
I'm trying to train this little one, Ryan, to, you know, I'm trying to train him. But to be honest, this book is so user-friendly. Like a software, you know, my daughter, I usually bake them rock bun. That's in this book. And my daughter is no longer at home. And, you know, my little son, Ryan, he was dreaming of some rock buns. So I was studying, I had exams, and he said, Mom, it's been a long time you haven't cooked us any rock bun. And I said, you know something, I'm busy. If you want it, go bake it. And of course, I've never put him in the kitchen before. So what I did was let him take the book, write out the recipe on, you know, those little card, and you know, he did it, all the ingredients were there, and he could follow it. So I'm saying if an 11-year-old can follow it, believe me, anybody can, and he baked it, and it was perfect. Also, I'm getting good reviews from people, Georgia, Canada, Florida. They've bought the book, and they keep on calling me. And here in Maryland, they're giving me good reviews. The book are good. It's easy to follow. I'm cooking Jamaican food. So, and they're, think about Christmas is coming. Oh, yeah.
Black
it's
cake.
A good gift. Black cake.
So you're making a black cake for me for Christmas?
Yes, I get a lot of orders
right.
at Christmas time. But also, think about it. Somebody marrying a Jamaican, you know, whether, you know, give a book as a gift.
Okay.
And also, it's Christmas. It's a good gift.
Okay. So she's actually done her own advertising for the book, so I don't need to tell you anything else. But I do have a final question that I want to ask. And that question is, when you're thinking about cooking for yourself versus cooking for people, like, you know, you write recipes, you have a special meal that you like to make for yourself. I know my meal. What is your special meal to make for yourself when you're cooking?
As I said,
The same one?
it's stewed chicken.
Stewed chicken.
It's easy to take care of my family.
Okay.
It's stewed. I can be rushing and I'm going to church. It's stewed chicken. Curry chicken also good, but it takes a little extra but I just throw it all in and I cover my pot and you know how it goes. So we do it.
That's how we do it. So, okay. So where can people go if they'd like to buy a little taste of Jamaica? Where's this book?
This book is available on our website, alittletasteofjamaica.net. That's alittletasteofjamaica.net. It's also available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Booktopia, and Google.
Awesome. And I have one question for Mr. Grant before you leave.
Yes.
Would you say that those nights that she didn't come to bed was worth it now that the product has been unveiled? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's worth
All right. At the time when it's going on, you fuss and fight, but you know, it's a good project.
It's a good project.
So I want to thank you. And on a personal note, I want to thank Andrea and Everton for preparing the food for all the people who are on the set of Pep Talk. And this is one time when I'm going to allow my studio audience to make a comment on the food that they've eaten. So, how was the food today, people?
Belly full.
Awesome. Some of them are still eating, so they can't talk with food in their mouth. So, again, you're watching Pep Talk. I'm your host, Jesse, Peppy Parke, and we were just speaking with Joel C. right before and now the Grants. Stay tuned for another episode coming to you very soon. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.